going on? Welcome to Sunday Night Charts with Jim of All Trades. Good to see you. My name's Jim, and I'm a crypto trader here to help you understand the market from an Elliott Wave perspective. Well, how you doing, guys? Welcome. Hey, Keith, enjoy your Vegas trip, buddy. I hope you enjoy it, man. Ricky Spanish, my good friend. We need to meet in person one day, buddy. I love you, dude, and glad to have you here as always. Go check out Ricky's channel. He's got an upstart channel. You guys want to check out Ricky Spanish's, and he's got a bunch of indicators he likes. So yeah, check him out. He's a good buddy. Taught him everything I know, and he's got a lot more to offer than I've taught him. So anyway, Alex Olivier, what's up, buddy? Bonjour, ça va, mon ami? Hope you're well. Good to see you. I guess you guys asked to see me on the screen last week. Let me give you my face again tonight. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. There I am in all of my glory. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, guys, we are. I'm an Elliott Wave trader. What does that mean? I use Elliott Wave theory in order to navigate this market, to understand what the market might be doing. Now, it's for a lot of people brand new to Elliott Wave theory. If you don't know what it is, you got to do a little deep dive in it, but it may feel kind of woo-woo-ish to you. And it's not. It's just understanding wave structure, what the wave is doing, and that the waves of price action define or give definition to market analysis and market emotion. And the waves move in 5s and 3s, and generally speaking, and we use those 5s and 3s to look at the market and see where it might be going. This dump down to 60, now we're at 68K. This is the range we've been talking about for quite a while. I did mention we could go down to 50K. That was a target for a while, and it still is a target. But we got to see what it's doing. So we're going to look at this price action analyze that price action and that wave structure and say, okay, what is the wave doing? So don't forget, though, I am not a financial advisor. Don't confuse what I'm doing here with financial advice. I'd never tell you what to do with your money. I'm not here to do that. What I am here to do is to show you Elliott Wave theory in action, offer you that analysis every Sunday night for Sunday Night Charts, and just talk about that within a framework of the geopolitical understanding of the world and what's going on historically, and just understanding, as Ricky mentions, the matrix, so to speak, and just how these markets are rigged and what this world is doing. And so we just trade within a proper understanding of market making tendencies, as well as geopolitical, current events and what's going on in the financial world. Okay, so we're going to talk about financial stuff and financial ideas, but I'm only bringing one perspective, at least with all of that background knowledge, and bringing that perspective under the umbrella of Elliott Wave theory. So we're going to do that. So anyway, let's jump into the analysis. All right. What's up, Jeff? How's it going? Thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm down to 193 pounds now. I was 20. I don't know, the beginning of the year, I was at 205, 207. I might have seen 206 on the scale. I know I saw 205. I'm trying to remember. Now I'm logging my weight every day. I'm using an app, by the way, guys. If you haven't used it, it's backed with science. That's a really great channel. Learning a whole lot about nutrition and lifting weights. And anyway, yeah, just working on the muscles, man. I got a lot of work to go. But yeah, losing weight and gaining muscle, that's the goal. So I'm eating differently now. So yeah, I've lost, let's see, I was 266 pounds at my highest. So, I'm down to 193 now. So that's roughly 75 pounds, something like that. So anyway, yeah, you can do it if you need to do it. You guys just got to get a hold of what you eat. All right, let's jump into the analysis here, guys. Do we need to do the macro? I don't think so. Let's just jump in real quick. Oh, that's the wrong chart. There we go. That was XRP. By the way, XRP, remember when I've been saying, hey guys, XRP really needs to come down to these levels down here? Yeah. I mean, why do we say that? Because, of course, I don't have the entire history of XRP here. There it is right there. Every time XRP jumps up, let's get on the weekly here. boom, it comes all the way back down, boom, all the way back down, boom, all the way back down. Okay. Eventually it's going to stop doing that, and eventually it's going to take off. When is that? Well, I think we need to come down here and take this area. See that wick right here? That wick is not in every chart. That wick is in the Binance chart and some of the other smaller. But Coinbase has not hit that level, so I think that's predicting where things are going. So we need to keep that in mind. So I believe more than likely price is coming down a little bit lower in XRP. Well, we'll look at that shortly. But I say that to say I've been talking, my analysis has been, yeah, XRP looks like it needs to come down. I know there are a bunch of moon boys up here looking for it to keep going up here, get to, just straight up from here. And I was just like, I don't think so. And so I think Wave Structure was telling us that story. All right, so let's say what is the story Elliott Wave Theory is telling us about Bitcoin and silver. Let's look at silver because I'm a big silver hodler. And we'll look at that chart as well. We'll just kind of check in with the market here, guys. Probably keep this one to a shorter one, maybe just an hour tonight. We'll just get you the information quick. I won't do a deep dive into everything, but just kind of give you the quick overview. Let me turn this light off right there because it's glaring on my screen. There we go. Can you see and hear me okay? Does everything look all right to you? Are we ready to rock? Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll just make sure somebody checks in with me here. All right, here's a 1, there's a 2, there's a 3, and a 4, and a 5 right there. That is a 5-wave move. As far as I can see, that's 5 waves. And we're looking for 3 waves down, okay? This is the initial wave down, A, okay, which it could be finished. It could very well be finished. It may have to hit the low one more time. Either way, we're in the done range. We're in this range where you ought to be thinking about a long here. Now, how long and how wide is this going to go? I can't tell you. My thinking is that we need to come up, and it needs to take a good half a year to a year to play out, or even into 2028, right? So a wave that takes this long, but not going up really fast forever, okay? We'll talk about how that wave might look. And then a wave coming down here. And this wave could retrace a little bit more. So some kind of a 3-wave move, something like that is what I'm looking for. That's kind of, that's ultimately, this is where we're heading. We're heading into a zone like this potentially. That's the way I'm looking at the market. Okay, so we could play around here. We could hit the low or not hit the low, and then find a balance here. Go up really fast, boom, 3 waves, come down, boom, hit it again. So this wave could be a flat, which I just drew right there. That would be a running or an expanded flat, I should say, or a regular flat. It could come and take this low and then come up very quickly to make a flat and then work its way down again for another wave. So this process is going to be years, in my opinion, from where we are. So we spent all this time coming down. Now I'm thinking we're just going to be going sideways in a range for years to be finalized with a final move down towards the end of the decade. That's my overview of the market. That's my basic main concept, okay? And that's nothing more, okay? Let me get a quick drink. That's nothing more than an Elliott Wave finished a finished sequence of an Elliott Wave. So here's a finished sequence of Elliott Wave. Okay, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then you get oh come on, you get A, B, C. Okay, that's an Elliott Wave sequence, which gives rise, after that's finished, it gives rise to the 3rd wave, and the 3rd wave is the big wave. It'll start off slow and methodical, boom, 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 boom. And then all of a sudden it's gonna kind of go straight up, and feel like it's never gonna stop. And that's what we call the 3rd of the 3rd. Okay? So that 3rd of the 3rd is gonna be fast and furious, but it's gonna start out awful slow. Okay, but that's kind of what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing for Bitcoin. Now, you want to see that in action in charts? You want to understand that? Let's just take a peek at the S&P real quick. I'll just show you what that looks like in a real chart. Where are you, SPX? Why are you not? Oh, because I'm in the wrong area. Duh. There we go. All right, here's the S&P, for instance. Let's get on the monthly chart. You can kind of see it. Okay, so you had on the S&P, you had an initial wave that took a really long time. Boom, there was your initial wave. That was wave 1. That was the first wave. And if we could go back and analyze this wave, you're going to see that it's probably 5 waves. I could probably kind of look at that and say, yeah, we got 5 waves in there. Then what happened? What happened after that? See that 3-wave move? This is where we are right here in Bitcoin's chart, in my opinion. In fact, if you want to know a little bit more specifically, let me zoom in just a little bit. There we go. We just finished, or have potentially finished, that wave right there. We could have another leg down, right? We could get that. But the point is that this is the wave we're finishing, and we're getting ready to go into a wave like this. Now, is it going to go straight up like this? Well, no. Just because it went like that in the S&P doesn't mean that's what it has to do now. This just is a 3-wave combination. And this is what I'm expecting. Some wave like this, 3 waves, I'm expecting that in the Bitcoin market. It's up, 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 up. Let's correct. Boom, find some balance, and then we go to the moon. Okay, that's when moon. So that's what I'm expecting in Bitcoin's chart. So you can see that basically we need to, we're going to play around here maybe, right? And then come back up, and then come back over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, 3 waves, and then here we go. That's what I'm looking for. So Bitcoin's going to be around forever and ever. So there's the macro view right there. That's the macro view. So within that, we're looking at this wave and asking the question, is it finished? Is it done? What are the characteristics if it's done? Is it showing the characteristics we're expecting to see? Well, let's talk about it. All right. Let's go to the daily chart and just kind of check in here. Here's the thing I would like to see that I'm not seeing. Okay. Here's what I would like to see that I don't see. What I don't see is divergence between that wave and that wave. I don't see any divergence. In my opinion, on the daily chart, we need to see some divergence, at least on the daily. Okay. So with that kind of, now do we have to have divergence? No, but I believe we're going to get some divergence. So if we do get that divergence, how would that play? Well, basically what's going to happen is that this will come down, take the low, boom, boom. Okay, this will make a lower low in price, okay, but a higher low in the RSI. Boom. Okay. Now that right there, what I just drew for you, if it goes how I just drew it, that takes us into the into the beginning of March, maybe even towards the middle of March. So in other words, this isn't going to resolve, in a day or two. Price isn't going to get down here in a day or two, more than likely. It's probably going to. Now, why won't it go fast? I mean, it could go fast, but why probably will it not go fast? Well, because after this big move and we got this little bit of a bounce, there are a bunch of people in the market that are thinking, oh, we got 3 waves. Now we're ready to rock and roll to the upside. We're ready to go. So there's a bunch of people in the market that believe we're getting ready to go to the upside. And so they are people thinking, let me go long right now. Okay, that's fine and that's fair. That's fair. So if you've got an entry down in here and you're long down in here, that's a great position to be in, and that's a good long. Okay, then that's not bad. And even if it comes down and hits the low again, it's still not a bad place to be long. However, we know that market makers, we know how they work. How do they work? Basically, they're not going to let you stay in a trade with any kind of simplicity. In other words, they're going to revisit this level and probably take it out, in my opinion. They'll probably take it out in some way so that anybody that went long in here gets really uncomfortable in their trade. Why do they need to do this? Why does price need to come and take this level out? Because they need you to be uncomfortable so that you'll let your money go. You'll be like, oh no, it's going to go down. There'll be a bunch of FUD and along with that, right? And then people are going to like, oh, I better sell at a lower price so that the market makers can get cheaper prices. You can lose your money. They can take your money and then they can bring it up where you expected it to be all along. So that's the way the market moves. That's the way the market takes your money. They make you uncomfortable in your trades. So that's why you have to learn to take trades at low risk, high reward areas. Okay, so we don't chase waves. So you shouldn't be chasing a short right now. You should not be chasing a short. You should be looking for setups that are ready to take it long. Is right now the time to go long? No, not in my opinion. This very moment is not the time to go long. Okay, I teach people wave structures and what to look for, so that when they can have a strategy for going long or going short, and how to take trades, and how to know how to take in low risk areas to take trades. If you need some help learning a trade strategy, if you can't articulate rules for every aspect of a trade, whether it's entry rules, whether you got a setup that you can recognize and draw on the screen, you got entry rules, you've got take profit rules, and you've got stop loss rules, you've got trade management rules, you've got rules for every aspect of trading. If you don't have those, I can at least help you develop those. I have a mentorship that it's very reasonable, and go to my Patreon, check it out. Be glad to teach you all that I know, and I'll teach you how I do it, so that you can begin developing your own strategy around the market with good psychology. So there's my plug for the Discord tonight. All right, with that said, so I'm expecting then this to come. Now, is it going to come straight down here? It could. That would be 3 waves. Boom, 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 right there. Retest this low. It could pop up right there and make some kind of a larger three-wave move before it comes down. So that's a structure we've seen before, right? Where we'll see this come down and then back up, boom. So there's a structure. What else could happen down here? Well, this could roll over and then come up and then start going up. Well, what would that be? Well, that would obviously be more in line with a wave 1 off of the low. Now, if that happens, if you get kind of a wave 1 off the low, if you get a kind of a big move like this, expect it to go up higher, and then to look like it's going to go up again, and just take it down and roll over and retest this level in a wave 2. Okay, and so when you look at that in a higher time frame, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, there it is. There's 3 waves, right? Or it could just kind of come up here. Boom, you got a 3-wave move. That could be the first of several, where this comes down, takes that low, and then boom, and all of a sudden you got a flat, and that price action right there could take a year of time. I didn't draw it in a year. I drew it more like in 7 or 8 months. It's almost a year what I just drew there, but anyway, you get the idea, right? So this could take a while, and there's your B wave. Then we get ready to go down for the third wave. Down we go. So in other words, what I'm expecting here is a lot of, more than likely, sideways. That's at least one idea, that if this right here is 3 waves, that's about finished. Okay, we got to look at this again, but then I'm looking for something like this. Okay, now if you want to see the first wave here, look how that was a very, very shallow retrace. I don't think we're going to get a shallow, retrace like that again. Why? Because this was a wave 4, okay, of the bigger wave. In other words, this was basically part of a larger. This was a smaller wave in proportionality to the kind of wave I'm looking for. So in other words, I'm looking for something to go sideways and do that trashy stuff for the next year of price action. That's what I'm looking for. So understand that that's the way I'm thinking about it. Okay, so back to the small time frame. Okay, so what's happening here then in this area? Is this finished? Well, I mean, like I said, it could be finished, but the problem is on the daily, I'm not seeing the divergence I want to see. So I need to see a lower low in price eventually. Okay, lower low in price while we make a higher low in the RSI. Okay, and that's the divergence I want to see to kind of clue me in that the bottom is about near. If you want to get a sense for other places where this has happened, okay, you can see it. You can see it all over the place. Where's a good place? I mean, like right here, for instance. Okay, we made a low right here, right? Made a low. Right there correlates with that. And then price came up. I mean, RSI came up and it came back down and made a higher low. whereas price made a lower low. So that's an example of divergence. If you don't know what divergence is, that's an example of divergence with the RSI, and that's what you normally see at a bottom, usually, especially in an impulse wave. This is an impulse wave. From here to here, that's an impulse wave. There's 5 waves there. Let's count them. Okay, you got 1, you got 2, you got 3, you got 4, you got 5. But between 4 and 5, you usually get divergence, which I did not get here. I didn't get divergence. Now, it's because we had kind of an extended fifth, so that's okay. But I need to see some local divergence right in here. Okay, that's what I want to see, and I'm not seeing it, so I'm making the case from divergence that we've probably got more down to go. Probably. Okay, so in other words, I want to see this low correlate with that low. Okay, and then I want to see the price come down again, take that low out, boom. Okay, making higher lows on the RSI, something like that. That's what I'm expecting. Okay, now that's ideal. Doesn't have to happen that way, but that's ideal. So that's good. All right, what else could happen here? Well, again, this could be just a larger correction where this is boom, 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 right? It comes down. And this is some kind of A wave. This is a B wave. You get a C wave, takes this level out, and then it rolls over, comes down for the fifth. Now, if that happens, you're going to get what we call hidden bearish divergence, where you're going to get that kind of move there and that kind of move there in the RSI. That looks pretty decent for the RSI here and Bitcoin as far as another potential play where this actually becomes some kind of zigzag. Okay, and then we get another low, quicken. So it goes up, gives everybody the sense, hey, we're going up, here we go, and then it rolls over and comes down, takes out that low, and then boom, then it goes up. Okay, so that's another kind of wave structure we could see. But the point here, the takeaway here is that right now I was saying that there are a bunch of people that believe because this low was made, we need to go up. So there are traders right now that saying, hey, I'm ready to go long. There are traders that say, hey, this is a really, really steep pullback. This is really bearish. I think Bitcoin needs to go down to 50K or whatever the next target is. And so there are people that think this needs to continue short. And because there are traders of both kinds, people that think it needs to go up and people that think it needs to go down, okay, the market makers are going to work this area so that they keep the chart, keep you guessing. Okay, they're going to overlap levels and keep you guessing as to what's going to happen here. Why? They have to keep you guessing as long as they can so they can keep the illusion that price is going to go up. All right, or give the illusion that price is going to go down, and then you got to take the carpet, rip the carpet out from under everybody. How do they do those kinds of things? Well, let me show you. Let me explain. What they do is they work a range for a while. They start working this range slowly, and they never really resolve it until one day they'll rock down quick, take that low out, and then boom, shoot it up high. And then all of a sudden, you got a 3-wave move. They take this little low out, they take this high out, and then they roll, and then they take that low out. And that's what we call that's the rhythm of the market makers. That's the way they move price. Okay, that's the way they do it. And when you look through the market maker strategy for trading, that's the pattern. It looks like a heartbeat on the chart. It goes boom, 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 right? Boom, 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 boom. Take the low, boom, boom, and it keeps going. And Alex, that's right. They're shenanigans. That's what we call them in the Discord. We call them. I mean, it's just shenanigans. But that's what's happening. So it makes trading difficult. Then it keeps everybody guessing, and so that they can take money for shorts and money for longs. And eventually, they're gonna take it a particular direction, but not until they've shaken people out along the way. So right now we're in the middle of a shakeout. What that shakeout is going to look like, I cannot predict. I can tell you what often happens, but I cannot predict it. I can't. I'm just ready for it. And I trade within that as a trader. I trade understanding that, okay, we're in an area of shenanigans, so I need to trade like that. So right now, you should be looking for short setups. That doesn't mean you go short right now. You should be looking for a setup that takes you short. And a setup is something that where you can enter into a trade with in a low risk environment. And so you need to have a setup to do that. So in my opinion, this is a 3-wave move right here. That's 3 waves. Now, what's interesting is I can see some things here that would be pretty nasty here. Let's talk about some of the things. This is where we go deep diving in here into the Elliott Wave theory. There's an ABC that I think is done. What's interesting is that that's a flat right here, okay? That's a flat. Now, what happened here? We have a 3-wave that took that high, and now we're getting an impulse wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That means that's a flat as well. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, that flat is corrective. It points to an upward wave. In other words, I can draw this as a flat right here. Depending on how low it goes, I'm just going to say it goes right there, maybe a little deeper. Okay, so if it does something like that, everybody's going to get real bearish, okay? But then what do they do? Then they're going to take it up, roll it over, boom. Okay. Then they could do this, and then that. Then all of a sudden, what is that? Watch this. A, B, C, or WXY. There's your A wave. There's your B wave. There's your C wave, and all of that is a B wave of a larger correction. A, B, C, boom. See that? Which then takes you up. Now, if it goes up here like this, it could just go that high right there. And then all of a sudden come down and take the low. You see how Elliott Wave theory accounts for the shenanigans really, really well. Okay, and those are just flats, structures, and flat is one of the most common structures in the market. That is a fake out, and they'll string them together just like I drew it right for you. So I believe that most likely we're in some kind of a shenanigan area right now. Something like that is what I'm expecting. Okay, so I'm going to trade like that. In other words, I'm going to be in and out of trades and be ready to switch directions. But I got to look for setups in that process. That means I'm trading on the smaller time frame. And I'm not taking major profits on everything. I'm not looking to hold for 3 and 5% every trade. I'm looking for 1%, 50%. I'm looking for 80%, 150% maybe. But just 1% move, not 150, but 1.5% moves is what I meant. At 100x is 150%. But I'm looking for small gains here because I think that's where we are in the chart. We're in shenanigan area, small gains. Just scalp your trades in this zone, okay? Because there's a bunch of traders looking to go down, a bunch of traders looking to go up. So they're going to go down and up, okay? So, and I can't predict that this is the exact pattern, but man, I would not be surprised to see something like this, right? This is what. So if you want a daily read on the wave structure as it's created, what I do is I do morning videos through the week on the weekdays, Monday through Friday, and I offer just a quick morning analysis of what the wave structure looks like, and I offer options and ideas. It doesn't mean I'm always right, okay? Yes, LG9, yes, it's a decent area. To be long for a while, yes, but you gotta have to hold it for a while, and there's a good chance that we come down to the 60K range again, or even the 55K to 50K range again. I would not be surprised to see this come down here. So yes, that's possible. So you got to decide, are you in it for the long haul? So spot, trading. What do you call it? Trading. Sorry, guys. Trading leverage like I do is a different game than trading spot. Yeah, your best bet at spot was to be buying when this was dipping down to 60K. That was a definite range. 60 to 67K, guys, is a buy zone. It's been a buy zone for me as far as spot trading is concerned. It's definitely a buy zone, in my opinion. Can it go down a little bit lower to scare everybody? Absolutely, it could. Okay. All right, let me just take a break here. My shoulders are killing me here, so give me 1 second. Ow, yeah, there it goes. Ooh, well, that hurt. I know that looked weird on camera. Sorry about that, but I needed that. Sometimes I get hunched over as I'm talking. I need to work on my posture. Okay. All right, how we doing, guys? We doing okay? I hope we're making it here. So this is my thoughts on the micro here, guys. I think we're in an area that you're just going to get a lot of chop. I know that's not super helpful, but it should be helpful to you because you got to understand that's where we are. So chances are your trades are not going to be big trades. You're not going to get it's not going to go straight up this week. Probably not. You'll get something that looks like it's going to go up and then it's just going to shoot down. And you'll get something that's looking like it's going down, then it'll shoot back up. I think we're going to get a lot of chop here. They got to work this range. It's too awesome of a range not to work it. So the boys need to work it, and they're going to. So trade well. Understand you are in a range. Just get in and get out of the market. Take your profit. Take your dang profit. Okay? All right, there's the analysis, guys. That's pretty fast here in 20 minutes. I gave you the Bitcoin analysis. Shall we take a look at the rest of the markets and see what they're doing? What do you guys want me to look at temporarily? You think bottom could come at the 786 on the macro? Oh, yeah. Jeff, 786 retrace? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, 26K, that's a lovely target. That's a lovely target. There's a lot of good reasons for that, right? But let's just look at the trend line. But when? When is that target? It ain't anytime soon. Okay. We're going to play around here. There's too many people really bearish right now on Bitcoin, so they got to go the opposite way. But they got to trap you first. So they got to work this range first, go trap you, and then come up here, right? And then play around, and then come down here. Okay, so we need to mess around for quite a while. So that's what I'm expecting. That's where we're. This bottom here, that's coming. That's 2030. Okay, so that's where in time, 2030 to 2035 or something like that. Yeah. But that's a great target zone. There's many good reasons for that. But I mean, look, 26K range, that's a 786. It's right in line with this trend line. As we get to 2030 and 2031 time frame, trend lines makes its way up there, right? We have support here, support here, support. There's so much support here on the chart. This is where we have major price support here, right? Yeah, Nick, that's it. Yeah. We're going to see the market, but it's going to rebound after. It ain't going to happen. Guys, I'm telling you, I don't know anything, but I have a certain intuition about this. And just trust me when I say that we're in for the next 5 years. Is going to be, for those of you looking for Bitcoin to moon, you're going to be all shaken about. There's going to be so many geopolitical things going on, and Bitcoin is just going to be going up one day, and the talk will be bull. And while this wave is happening right here, it's just going to be all bullish, and Bitcoin's going to 250K. And then there's going to be something that's going to pull it back, and it's going to go up. Oh, here we're going to 250K again, right? And then we're pulling back, and the narrative is going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. And then it's going to be maximalist bullish in here, right? And until the rug is pulled. So, yeah. And that's just going to take years of price action to play out. And we're here to track it. I'm going to track it with you as long as I can stay with you. I've been doing this since 2018, 2017, 2018. That's a bunch of years in this market. It's almost 10 years. Just well, I mean, let's be a little bit more real here. We're 2026. That's 8 years, right? So yeah. So I'll try to stick with you through all that mess, but then it's time to get bullish. But right now, I'm not bullish on Bitcoin forever. Now, I mean, that doesn't mean, listen, my macro interpretation, it doesn't, there's one sense in which it doesn't have to do all this. So you always have to be ready to be wrong, right? So we could get something like this and then something fast. What I just drew right there still takes us to 2030. Unless it comes straight down fast like that. And if it does, buddy, get on board quick, because it's gonna come right back up, and then it's gonna range for a while. And then go, probably. Just depends on what the geopolitical narrative is during that time. If the narrative is ripe, it's ready to go, then yeah, we could see a V shape, and then all of a sudden you zoom out on the monthly on Bitcoin, and all of a sudden we just show you on the monthly. We're waiting for this, right? And then all of a sudden, boom. But you see, I just drew it proportionally to the S&P that I was showing you earlier. It still takes us out to 2030, 2031. So this is the wave right here. That's the big question mark. How long is that wave going to take? I don't know. But we'll track it. We're going to talk about it. See if we can help you trade it and make some money along the way. If you need help making money along the way in that wave, and to keep your brain and your FOMO down, come join the Discord. Come on in there. Get the conversation started. Come on in. Bring some fresh blood into the Discord, and let's revive the Gem of All Trades Discord and have some fun over the next 5 years. All right. I mean, there was a day where we had 40, 50, 60 guys talking at once, and I had 200 people in the Discord on any given time. But nowadays, I think Bitcoin is just the newness of Bitcoin and trading it, is just kind of worn off. And so I don't know. Of course, Bitcoin's taking a lot of people's money because they don't know how to trade it. And so if you need some support in that, just come on in. That's what we've been doing. That's what we're doing in this market, supporting traders so they don't FOMO, helping traders develop their psychology, helping traders develop their strategies. Okay, that's what my Discord is all about. It's not about giving signals, and it's not about moon boy talk. It's about learning to trade in this environment. Okay, all right. There's the analysis, guys. Let's take a peek at Ethereum real quick. Just look on the daily. Just do a little correlation analysis here. There we go. Yeah, so I mean, I look at Ethereum and I'm like, this wave is not proportional to what I'm seeing. This is the problem with Ethereum. That I got 3 waves here. This thing took forever, right? So yeah, I think we're ready to come back up or roll over maybe a bigger 4 and then down. That would get proportional shenanigans, and then come on down, and then to the moon. I think eventually Ethereum is going to the moon, and we're at, I mean, $800 has been my target for when this wave was coming down. I was looking for $800. I was actually looking for this wave to come down here. And then we got 3, 3, and then 3. And I was really looking for this to finish and then come up. But we got that move instead, and then we came down. But that's market makers. That's market makers. So, where are we in this wave? Well, we got a big old single print here to the downside. More than likely, this is going to finish something, whatever that structure is going to finish, right? And then come down and make a lower low, and then it'll be back up here eventually. So If it comes down here, I mean, that's $1,200 there. That's $1,000 there. I mean, I could totally see this play around, create a three wave, and then come down and hit that low. I don't know. Ethereum says to me it's going to be not as long as you think, Jim, for that bottom to come in. When I look at Ethereum, it's going to be quicker than you think. So I don't know what that means. Let's take a peek at XRP. XRP, again, let's look on Coinbase. You see how Coinbase, this wick didn't come down? So that wick on Binance came down to 76 cents. So I would not be surprised to see an 80 cent, 76 cents XRP. Is it going to happen this week? Probably not. Probably not. More than likely, we're going to get some shenanigans in here. This is going to take its time. But eventually, sometime, March maybe, April, this is going to finish coming down here before we get the move up. And moon eventually. But it has to go sideways. Once it hits bottom, it's got to go up and down and range for quite a while until it goes moon. You gotta realize that they're transitioning us to the new banking system, and so all these things have to be in place, and they have to move us in stages and steps. And so all the current banking system has to switch over to the new banking system. And so until that begins to really take place, it's all ready to go, but they have to have the economic situation to do it. Okay. So in other words, they have to have calamity so everybody's crying for help, and we need help in the economy. And so these things have to take time and political maneuvering to bring their plan about. So it's all coming. It's all coming. We're in the process, but we got years to go, guys. We got years to go. All right, that's XRP. Let's look at silver, and then we'll look at gold for crit. Okay, small time frame on large time frame on silver. In an ideal world for me, I think we need to just kind of maybe come up, boom, boom, this could be a three-wave move very quickly into the summer, and then we get another spike. So yes, it's possible we could see 50 or $60 silver again, but it's not going to happen. Once it hits this range, it's going to probably up and go. And this year, we're going to see this year we're going to see real possible $200 silver, in my opinion. It's possible in the next 2 to 5 years that we see $500 silver. It's possible. All right, crit. Let's look at the gold chart on the small time frame. Can you look at gold lower time frame if gold's coming down to 4,400 before up? I'll do my best. There's gold. Yeah, I mean, could it hit 4,400? I mean, it just did. Does it have to go down there? No, but there's a good chance. This wave does this. Something like that. That's a good wave. That would take us into summer. Could take longer than that. It could come a little deeper. Doesn't have to do that, but I can see that. That would be just fine, and that would be healthy for gold to do. That would be a healthy correction for sure. It would give the chart a chance to cool off a little bit and then ready to rise again. So, 4-hour time frame. Let's take a peek at this wave structure. What are we seeing here? The real bullish look at this wave says this is a 1-2, 1-2. If this comes up like that, we could really see this thing go up again. The bearish look says, looking at that from a turning your mind over and looking at the waves bearishly, you're going to see this as a correction. Right? Some kind of correction. But then that's still 3 waves. I would assume we have more up to go after that based on geopolitical circumstances. So the correction that we might be in would allow the gold chart to cool off here. So we do need some cool off so that we can cool off here, get down, get a nice hidden bullish chart, and then we get ready to go up again. I believe in the next couple of years you're going to see $10,000 gold. But yes, this year, between now and summer, we could see that correction. Doesn't mean we have to see that correction. I think it's just we could see that correction. Take a peek at the XRP chart here real quick. Small time frame. Excuse me. Okay, a couple people asked for some different stuff here. Let's see what you're asking for. Do stock. Sure, I can look at that stock. And then PAXG against the BTC chart. Sure. Let's look at a stock here for my buddy here. On the NASDAQ, Duolingo. Ooh. Wow. So why is Duolingo going down? Because AI has been taking it over. So from an Elliott Waver, I look at this and say, okay, you got, yeah, we'll exclude that for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And you're getting a 3 wave, and it's looking, decent. So we're approaching areas of Duolingo. Yes, this is an area to consider buy. Is this wave done? I don't know. Hard to say. Excuse me. Probably not. Duolingo may be dying. But it might be ready to buy. Here's what I would watch. If that line breaks to the upside, that certainly gives me good buy feels. It'd take a while. But yeah, I'd like to see it start moving up. So that doesn't look bad. Looks like a 1-2. Looks like a decent bet. If Duolingo, if the fundamentals of Duolingo say, hey, it's gonna be around a while, then yeah. Now here's the thing: the AI language teaching things, I've seen them advertised in my feed a lot. They seem pretty cool. They may be replacing Duolingo. There you go, Jeff. I think we're in a buy zone though, potentially, but I mean it could go lower. But if right now it's a good bet. It's just you got to look at the fundamentals. Are they going to be around, or are they going to die? If the fundamentals look good, then yeah, Duolingo's a buy or close to it. We start feeling really good at a break of that trend line. Yeah. Now this could get complex, right? But I think you're in to me that chart looks really good. Looks bullish and looks like a decent investment for the future. I like the chart. It doesn't look scary yet. Not financial advice. Okay, let's look at PAXG. Slash BTC. I'm not seeing that chart on the screen, my man. Oh, he's got to type it in right. Oh, excuse me. Woo. Oh, wow, look at that. So what is this? You said it's the gold stablecoin. I don't know how that works, a gold stablecoin. But that chart looks super bullish. Does it look done? I mean, it looks ready for a correction. Some kind of local correction, but up looks like the direction. I don't think it's finished. I don't get the sense that it's finished. This is the kind of correction we're in, something like this, right? Something like this with more up to come. So this looks very bullish to me. I look at that and I'm like, that looks really bullish to me. 3-day chart, we don't have any divergence up here at all. So this looks very bullish. Expect some kind of a pullback and then continuation. That'd be my best guess. But then I'd look for a larger correction back down. Well, this correction could take a while. So if this is a correction to the downside, then BTC is going to be correcting to the upside, right? So if that takes a while to develop and then pops, this is yeah, no, I get it. I get what you're saying. So yeah, I think they actually do match. Fine. And I see what you're saying now. But the overall chart looks bullish for now. But correct up, maybe something like this, and then down. So I see this. So BTC would be correcting to the upside and then down. And then when this goes up, this comes down, BTC rebounds. But I don't know how that'll play. Because at the end of the day, this entire chart looks like it's going to need to do this. And remember, this is the PAX gold against BTC. They can still move in the same direction. Okay, understand that. In other words, it's just the value of this PAX could exceed Bitcoin's. They're not necessarily inversely related. It's just that the value of this particular coin could go up a lot faster against Bitcoin. But it doesn't necessarily mean Bitcoin has to go down when this one goes up. This could just go up a lot faster than Bitcoin will. So, all right. Well, there's the live stream. That's an hour, guys. I've kind of gone over most of the market here. So, guys, I'm still bullish, though I do see in the metals we could be seeing a correction between now and the summertime, that we don't get out of this range for a while, and it could get scary down to $4,000 on gold and on silver. We could see, it's possible to see $50 silver again, but I do see a local pump here that could play. And so is this going to turn into 3 waves and then go on up, or is this just going to go up and make all new highs right now? Either way, I see new highs later coming, but for now this looks like a possible 3-wave correction that we're just in the middle of. So don't get scared, guys. Just use these as buying opportunities for your metals, because the metals are going to go berserk by the time it's all over. They just need a bit of a cool down right now. So let's let it get a cool down, and then I don't think it's going to be 20-year cool down or a 10-year cool down. I think it's going to be a very quick one. Could be a 1-year cool down, but I think it's going to be quick. Might even be 6 months. So let's see how it plays. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed Sunday Night Charts. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first Sunday Night Charts, I hope you enjoyed it. And those of you OGs, appreciate you as always. Love you guys, and I'm glad you guys were here. Y'all have a great night. It was good to see you. I hope that analysis was helpful in some way. If you want more daily analysis and to learn how to trade a little bit better and to manage, come be a part of our Discord community. Got a bunch of traders all over the world, and love to have you in there. You could add to that mix, and we'll just spend time with you and ask all the questions. Watch the videos, the educational videos, and you get access to me anytime you want. All right, I'm a text away within the Discord. So, all right, guys, y'all have a great one. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.